Previously on St. Elsewhere.
Oh, Stephen.
He's dead.
What are we gonna do?
The board commissioned an independent feasibility study, and I had no trouble.
This is a hell of a way to hold a reunion, isn't it?
Margaret?
I've thought of you, on and off, for the last 45 years. A woman never forgets the first man she slept with.
Everybody likes you. Just a sweet, small-town girl, uncomplicated.
The naked eye, window to the world, a mirror of our soul.
Hopefully, your rotation in ophthalmology will unveil some of the mystery, make you a little more clinical.
Only question I need answered, what's this snotty glob from the tear duct?
Look, Dr. Craig's told me about you, so consider this fair warning. I won't put up with any sophomoric behavior. Understand?
Dr. Friedman, up until now I've had perfect vision, but lately there have been headaches, blurriness. Any idea what the problem is?
Almost anything can make the picture fuzzy.
But
Truth is, we still can't fully explain how we see. Light enters the pupil. Images are focused on the retina. Lean in, please. Nerve cells in 20 parts of the brain are stimulated, performing 10 billion calculations per second. What happens after that's anyone's guess. Lowest line you can read?
L-P-E-D. But I'm a heart surgeon.
Bottom line?
P-E-Z-O-L-C-F-T-D. My career is the bottom line. In the OR, I can't even tell the distal branch of the right coronary.
Dr. Wade, you don't need to worry. You're farsighted.
I have to wear glasses?
Reading, working up close.
operating, wait till they fog up or slip down your nose.
There are always contact lenses. Give you even better vision.
Besides, you know what they say about passes and glasses.
I was not speeding.
Oh, we were going so fast, the telegraph poles looked like a picket fence.
Perhaps on the days you do volunteer work, you should take your own car.
Now, Daniel, don't get defensive, except
Right.
when you're driving.
Thank you. That'll be fine. Thank you.
Margaret.
Danny,
You look wonderful.
I'm sorry I can't make goo-goo eyes at you, my boy. Cataracts. I'm here for outpatient surgery. I go under the knife in a few hours.
Margaret Ryan. I'd like you to meet my wife, Catherine.
Hello.
The girl who stole my bow.
Don't be melodramatic. Between our breakup and my marriage, there was an entire world war.
Oh, may I help you upstairs?
Oh, it's all right, thank you.
No, please. It's part of my job. I'm with the Women's Auxiliary.
Good for you. Daniel never thought that I had enough social conscience.
No, let's not dredge out both onions.
It just grabbed my back.
You're getting to be a regular little Goldilocks. You know, when your daddy was your age, she barely had hair. Just soft down. But a beautiful baby.
Everyone decent? Boy in the girl's dorm. Let's go, Ellen, so Moser and his men can get cracking.
What's happening here, Mark? We talked about redecorating, but we never set a date.
I did. No use waiting. To make this room fit for our princess, no expense should be spared. Forget I said that, Moser. Oh, and have your boys lug these up to the attic, huh? They've been sitting here ever since they were sent back from OSU.
Don't touch those. I haven't had a chance to open them. Would you excuse us, please? Mark, I'm not sure that we should redo this room.
Oh, for crying out loud, Ellen, this was your idea. I mean, you got so excited about hanging frilly lace curtains and mixing the right shade of paint, finding the softest shag carpet. Lay your peepers on, Miss Babs. That wily woodpecker got away again.
Mark, this just isn't a good time. Now let's get to the hospital. I don't want Barbara to be late for her checkup with Dr. Carlisle. No, I don't. Come on, Barbara. Come on, Barbara. Come on, sweetheart.
Listen, Moser, change of plans. Hop in your truck, park down the street. After we leave, come back and get cooking. The side door will be unlocked. Got that? And let's hope your touch with the brush is better than your gift for gab.
What are we doing?
Trying not to run up a heavy dry cleaning bill.
Looking for a contact lens. Whose?
Mine. Keep your eyes peeled.
You don't wear contacts.
Found it.
Dr. Friedman fitted me this morning.
Hard or soft? Jack, don't be a pervert.
Jackie, your whole life is falling apart. First your marriage, now your eyes.
Taking it all in stride.
And you can't forget about your failed reconciliation with Robert.
Whoa, wait a minute. What? Jackie and Robert went up to Vermont to shoot a little quail.
A little beaver.
Then Robert decided not to get back together anyway.
No big deal. I've got a new positive outlook.
Went through life with your eyes wide open. Scary.
All right, people. Have a caseload today. Who's up first, please?
24-year-old male presented last night. Well, actually, early this morning. And anyway, wow. Wonder how he got inside.
Cat scratch fever.
Here, kitty, kitty.
All right, Dr. Morrison, continue.
Patient complained of acute onset of abdominal pain. Febrile of 103. The tenderness
Is Mrs. Ryan all settled in?
Just after we reached her room, orderly arrived and whisked her away to pre-op.
Then you didn't have a chance to talk.
Oh, about something in particular?
Me. Her. Us. Isn't that what women do? Compare notes, give each other the skinny?
Well, you told me all I need to know. Met in Greenwich Village. Your roommates were dating, and from there on, you did nothing but fight.
It was an exciting time. The country was just coming out of the Depression. Prohibition had been repealed. The war was heating up.
Oh, would you pick that up?
Maggie used to drag me down to her apartment to meet all these oddball types. She, of course, called them avant-garde.
Well, I understand why you went steady. She's very nice. But your relationship is no business of mine. It happened before we knew each other. But the idea of you a bohemian.
Why do you find that amusing?
Well, I just can't imagine you hanging out in dark, smoky clubs, wearing a beret, talking to E.E. Cummings, drinking with Joe Cohen, talking, drinking.
There was an exchange of ideas. Also, a certain freedom, a spontaneity.
Oh, I'm sure there was. Only I just can't see you part of that scene. Must have been a flight of fancy. You in a beret. Do you think that Mrs. Ungermack would enjoy reading Watership Down?
I don't know Mrs. Ungermack. And what's more, it's obvious you don't know me.
No game going. Hey, man, give me my hat back. Where's my hat? Hey. Look, you blind as a bat. Here you go, Batman. Here's the hat. Here it is. Come. That's okay, man. You keep it. It's yours. Dear. How you gonna play chess if you can't see? Oh, you just feel the pieces. Keeps the fingers quick and the mind sharp. Sharp? Sharp, huh? We can show you sharp. Show the Batman sharp, boo-boo.
Peri-umbilical stab wound, possible concussion, multiple contusions and lacerations. Type in cross for 6 units and set up for a peritoneal lavage.
Damn, this place smells like death. What hospitals you bring me to?
St. Allegius.
I ain't deaf, and I ain't senile either.
Looks like they stuck you pretty good, sir.
The name is Arthur Tibbetts. Art.
Well, what happened there, Art?
Oh, a couple of Johnnies just out of nowhere. Next thing I know, I got a shift burning in my belly.
Art, I need to look at your eyes.
Well, they won't be looking back at you. I'm born this way.
Pupils may still indicate trauma. Eyes are key to diagnosis.
Okay. You know, I was just sitting around, minding my P's and Q's, and they whacked me real good, too. But then I'm a ripe old melon, tougher than they'll ever be.
Art, since you lost consciousness, I'd like for you to have an x-ray.
Well, I ain't got no money to pay for it.
It's on us.
Oh, well, in that case, I'll take 2.
When Westfall gets going on a tangent, rounds one forever. My eyes feel like someone threw sand in them. New contact lenses.
Something I've been meaning to ask you. A little while back, you just kissed me out of the blue.
Didn't mean a thing.
Then why'd you do it?
You accused me of being a small-town girl, dull and predictable. I just did something crazy, that's all.
You were just trying to scratch an itch.
Where? Maybe I can reach it.
Wayne, that's my shirt.
From your suitcase.
Look, I know it's a drag for you guys having all my junk here. But it's no fiesta squatting in on call, and I don't need you pitting out my Oxfords.
Look, you've been living here for a week. Go find an apartment.
It's not easy finding a place.
Like when your father owns a condo.
It was a great write-off for Dad till he had to bail, thanks to Graham Rudman.
Don't worry about the shirts. Instead, think about Elliot stretching out your jockey shorts.
Oh, wackadoo. Very funny.
Dr. Eric, tell me what you know about cataracts.
Cataract. A luxury touring sedan. Actually, it's a clouding of the lens and the second leading cause of blindness. Nothing can be done to prevent cataracts, but after removal, vision can be corrected with glasses, contacts, or interocular lenses.
Good.
Hey, not a stooge.
Number 64, Blade Mo. What's the problem?
Well, it's just that a knife, touching the eye, it's kind of like, chien andalou.
Dr. Ehrlich, you need this ophtho-surgical rotation for your residency. If you're unable to assist...
Uncle, I give.
Implanted close to 2,000 IOLs. I can do this procedure with my eyes closed.
An idea I could get behind.
After making a 2-millimeter cut in the cornea, I'll incise the lens capsule.
There it is. It's all yellowed and the size of an aspirin.
Be replacing Mrs. Ryan's natural lens with one made of polymethyl methacrylate.
So that's it, huh? She'll have normal vision again in the left eye.
After 5 weeks or so. Dr. Ehrlich, adjust focus.
Sure.
What does Dr. Craig do when you act like this?
Makes me stand in the cornea.
Dr. Griffin, have you seen a cat?
As in meow?
It's wandering loose around the halls. It's bigger than a Shetland pony.
Call the MSPCA to catch it. If he's as big as you say it is, I hope they get here before he needs to hit the litter box. Mrs. Craig.
Oh, where's Dr. Carlisle?
She's winging to Phoenix. Father's sick. She asked me to cover for her.
Oh.
I'm Dr. Seth Griffin.
You're new.
First year.
How do you do?
I thought you and Dr. Craig had a son.
Barbara's our granddaughter. My son Stephen was killed in an auto accident last year.
Sorry. Oh, Barbara, should we pop you on the scale, get down to business?
Her appetite's been great, Doctor. This month we added strained chicken, carrots, and chocolate ice cream.
She's eating better than me. Stuck with Unifood cafeteria meals.
Why is that?
I was forced out of my place, living at the hospital. 9,600 grams. Obviously loves her Grammy's cooking.
Barbara, don't be such a crab, Appleton.
You think she's mine?
You can try.
Come here.
Oh.
Come here. Did your Grammy ever tell you about the great green room? And the 3 little bears and the little chairs. And the 2 kittens, 2 little mittens. And the comb and the brush and the bowl full of mush. And the little old lady whispering, hush.
Good night, Moon.
Yeah, it's one of the best memories I have about my mom. Before she died, reading that together.
Dr. Griffin, why don't you come and stay with us for a while? I mean, Mark would never admit it, but he can still remember what a grind first year was.
That's very nice of you to offer.
Part of being the chief of surgery's wife is to look after St. Eligius' own.
No, I'll find new digs soon, and thanks anyway, though.
Mr. Tibbetts' x-rays?
Mm-hmm. Let's put him on.
Arthrogram is negative. Debrided the wound and stitched it closed.
Oh. Lucky man.
Malcolm McDowell.
You know, I love when these things strobe. Let's try board E.
What kind of scumbucket would beat up a blind man?
Beats me. I heard it happen near your old neighborhood. Gee, E works. We bring good things to light.
I wasn't kidding. He really is a ripe old melon.
Obviously not his first thumping. No new trauma. Well, send him on his way.
Phil, it's getting late. Art lives in the street. What if we admit him? He'd get a good night's sleep.
You're not a social worker, and this is not the Holiday Inn.
I thought of anyone around here you'd understand.
Cal, when it comes to patients, we're supposed to be colorblind. Now discharge Mr. Tibbetts.
The Craig clan.
Ehrlich, cap it. Dr. Friedman filled me in on your OR antics.
What? I was terrific.
In a pig's eye.
You wanted to see me?
Yeah, pack your things. Mrs. Craig fed me your sob story. You'll be staying with us till you find a place.
Hold the phone, muscling into my turf.
Oh, Mark, good. Hi, Ellen. Glad I caught you. Me too. We're going for a record in here.
Ned Shaw.
Mayor's nerdy assistant?
Yeah, he's stopping by tomorrow, wants to discuss the board's feasibility study and their recommendations.
Yeah, well, I'm not going to let the city sell this hospital if I have my say.
Good, then you'll be there.
Oh, sorry, Donald. Patch it up yourself. Tomorrow's the night that Barbara and I watch Alf. Everybody out,
I'll meet you downstairs.
How about if Seth stays at my apartment and I live with you?
Used to have a job working at the YMC of A. Great giving rub-downs because I was a lousy referee in pickup games. 7 years I was working there. That's where I met the ace who built my chessboard. Of course, the old Y's gone now, and nothing to take its place. Empty lot. How you like them apples?
Hey, you're pretty good. You get around well.
Well, pretty well. Of course, the old legs are tiring now.
Why don't we sit down a minute?
Okay. I was just thinking about my friend Carl Kluge. The Kluk, we used to call him. He's a real fine man. Always kept me from tripping over myself. Of course, he never beat me at chess.
You're good, huh?
Maybe. I know a challenge when I hear it.
Carl still watch out for you?
Last winter, out looking for food and cans by the curb, snowplow came along and hit old Klug. Ambulance took him away, and I haven't seen my friend since.
Who helps you? Where do you sleep?
In the daytime, I keep moving. And at night, there's a nice place over by the electric plant over on Boylston. And they got them steam vents, and they put out a lot of heat. Of course, the best I've ever had was a cardboard box. A big one, too. But somebody came along and crushed it. Your move.
Art, I'm going to admit you.
Problem with your glasses, Harriet?
Oh, I gave a patient some bad news and he slugged me. Torqued my goggles out of shape.
Happens to me all the time. I do mean getting hit, but bending my frames.
Sir, mind if we try yours?
Donald, I've always rather fancied the style you wear.
Hey, not much to them.
Dr. Wessel?
I've been thinking about taking a step up to contemporary style frames. Comfortable. What do you think?
Natty.
Prescriptions are.
How about me?
You look like an artist.
Strong lenses.
And me?
Distinguished.
Are these tinted, Donald?
No, I don't think so.
Gentlemen. I thought I saw a pussycat.
Just put your bags down anywhere. I'll get the sheets for the rollout.
Great den, Dr. Craig.
I wouldn't know anymore. It's always filled with house guests. I was 36 before I had luggage nice as that. Isn't that right, Ellen? Helen. Listen, make yourself useful, Take Barbara downstairs.
Sure.
I asked you to wait. You went ahead anyway. Now where's Barbara gonna sleep?
In our bed. With us.
With me. Because you're gonna be sleeping downstairs on the sofa.
Danny?
I'm here. The operation went very well.
I wanted to write. I was worried. I was afraid that you'd get shot and die. Danny, I'm so happy you're back from the war. There's something that I haven't told you.
It can wait. Rest.
After you left for the Pacific, I learned I was pregnant with your baby. Danny, we have a son.
Morning. Great Z's last night. I was asleep before my head hit the pillow.
Well, have a seat. I'll cook breakfast.
I shouldn't keep Dr. Craig waiting while I chow down.
Mark's already left. I'll drive you to the hospital. What would you like? Eggs, pancakes?
Oh, eggs, whatever's easy. You need help?
Sure. If you want toast, there's bread over there. White, whole wheat, rye. I hope the workers didn't wake you.
Nah. You really got the major facelift happening upstairs.
Mark is having a nursery made for Barbara.
At the hospital, you know, Dr. Craig kind of comes off, he's really a softie, isn't he?
You've got a stain on your shirt.
Victor Ehrlich's chocolate pudding.
Wear another. I'll wash that one.
No, you're going to way too much trouble. I mean, fixing me breakfast, I would have been happy with a glass of OJ and a sports page.
Oh, it's no trouble at all. I made your lunch. Roast beef and a hard roll. There's also an apple and a box of animal crackers. Sorry, they're the only cookies I have in the house right now. Any requests from the market? Any requests, Stephen? Oh, I'll butter the toast.
How long do you think it'll take you to catch him?
Big game hunting?
The 10-ton tabby. He hopped up on Mr. Brendel's breakfast tray, helped himself to 3 strips of low-sodium bacon.
And for that, you're sending Morris to death row.
Oh, I'm sure the MSPCA has a very humane heart. Someone will take him in.
But if they don't, excuse me. Helen, you're the only one that can guarantee a stay of execution. Bring him home with you.
I already have a full house. A Wheaton Terrier, 2 hamsters, 4 children, Richard, plus Marcy's coming home from Switzerland with her husband Klaus.
All right, Helen, if you want 9 lives in your conscience, Jackie, what happened?
You tell him, Elliot. I'm sick of explaining.
Well, she fell asleep with her contact lenses on. When she woke up, the lenses stuck to her eyes and left abrasions on both corneas.
How long with the blinders?
3 days.
At most.
All right, relax.
Go home and rest. Take it from a guy who just went through heavy R&R. I highly recommend it.
I can't. I just took some time off with Robert, and now Craig's on my case. But like I said yesterday, I am not going to let this bug me. Business as usual.
Hate to be your patient in surgery.
Wayne, can Jackie tag along? I've got a consult. please.
Sorry, on my way to ER. She'd only be in the way.
Hey, Phil, buddy.
No.
Hey, what gives?
I do.
Oh, no. Hey, you can't saddle me. No.
Victor,
Please,
just take me to the doctor's lounge. You can dump me there.
I'm sorry. It's not like I don't want to be a bud. Be there for you.
Only I got a post-op with Friedman, you know, Mrs. Ryan's lens implant.
Feels like made have been missed around here.
What's that supposed to mean?
Your lisp, spraying sibilant S's all over.
Well, thanks for bringing it to my attention.
Guess my sense of sound's been sharpened. Ever thought about a speech therapist?
I thought you were releasing Mr. Tibbets.
Well, we got to talking.
Carol, there's no medical reason for him being here. Discharge him.
Art, got a wheelchair. You should hop in and hang on. I'm in another room.
Where?
I'm not sure yet.
Ow. Why do I have to go to another room?
You ask too many questions.
Feel loud.
Come on.
Ow.
The last time I saw Paris, it was warm and gay. No matter how they change her, I'll remember that way.
Beautiful. Now, you're going to be in on Ned Shaw's meeting this afternoon, right?
No can do. It's only a 40-hour work week, my friend.
2 days ago, that feasibility study had you worried. What changed your tune?
Cole Porter.
What?
Rogers and Hart. Aaron Copeland. I thought Maggie was gone with the wind. Believe the lady vanishes. Goodbye, Mr. Chips. But then Don Budge wins the Grand Slam, and so do I. 1939, Margaret Ryan has my baby, and you have a cigar.
No, I still don't understand.
Well, I don't fully yet myself. It all seems so fantastic. But yesterday, when I saw Maggie, my pancreas did a backflip. My whole life's changed overnight.
And what does Catherine think about all it?
You're the only one I've told. So mum's the word. Remember, loose lips sink ships.
Well, what are you doing here?
I drove second. And also I wanted to make an appointment with Dr. Weiss. Start grief counseling again.
Simon's Broadway bound.
I thought I was finally over Stephen's death, able to get through a whole day without feeling angry about what happened or sad. Then last month, when we saw those old home movies of ours, I saw my baby. Mark, why did you tear Stephen's room apart? I used to be able to go in there and feel closer to my son. Now you've taken that comfort away from me.
Inviting home surrogate sons like Seth Griffin won't help you. And neither will making that room a shrine.
Well, what am I supposed to do when I hear someone use a phrase that Stephen used? Or see a young man flick his hair back the way Stephen did?
I always bugged him about getting a haircut.
It's easy for you to finish a chapter, Mark, but not me. Can't you show me some way to get through this?
I don't have any answers. You're going to have to deal with this yourself.
Close the door.
It's hot in here.
Yeah. Your patient, Mr. Tibbets.
Keeping him for post-concussion symptoms.
You mean a headache. Chandler filled me in. You said you were going to discharge Mr. Tibbets, then you put him in a ward, and now he's in a private room.
No one was using it. Arthur was beaten up for no reason. I just
Thought a solid day's rest would help him get a leg up on the world, that's all. At least temporarily.
Well, I understand your motive, but what you did is stupid. Playing musical beds, falsifying records, come on.
Have you forgotten Ethiopia? No, the outreach program? Or just given up?
Carol, do you know that the Board of Trustees is ready to sell this place because we can't make expenses? Now, if we give a bed to every homeless person in Boston, St. Legis would close immediately. Then we'd be no use to anyone, would we?
Mr. Tibbets, want him back on the streets tonight?
Tomorrow.
Big of you?
Positive attitude. This is a pain.
When I was a kid, I had amblyopia, lazy eye. My doctor made me wear a patch. The strength of the weak eye. While the kids at school laughed. One day I cried so hard, tears made the patch come off.
What's all the noise?
Adding another radiology suite.
There's not enough money to run this place, but the city goes on with construction. Typical bonehead management.
Hey, watch what you're doing.
You all right?
Jack? Jack? Jack?
Chandler, what you did stinks.
Well, you didn't deal straight with me.
Where do you get off being so self-righteous?
On chalking Mr. Tibbets up on the hospital tab. You figure that's a big achievement.
Think about someone besides yourself.
Listen, Carol, you're not the only sensitive one around here. You see, I've worked abortion clinics. I've answered suicide hotlines, so don't tell me I don't care.
How are you feeling?
This was supposed to be an outpatient operation.
I'm glad you had to stick around.
What's that about?
Ever since you told me about our son, I've been bursting, wanting to shout the news out to the world.
That damned anesthesia. I usually only dream that I tell you. I'm very sorry that you found out.
Why? Where is our son? Tell me about him.
Except for one specific act. You had nothing to do with that child.
Well, that's unfair. I didn't even know you were pregnant when I left.
We should have gotten married and raised him together.
You know that wasn't possible.
Because you were a coward. So what if we came from different religions? You should have had the guts to go to our parents and the rabbi and the priest and tell them to go to hell.
Times were different then.
Yes, but 7 years later, things had changed so radically that you married a Catholic anyway. Bull.
Like we used to be, fighting.
Yes. We fought because we had nothing in common. You said that I was going to be your wife. I wanted that desperately. And then you just walked away and left me to marry and divorce Freddie. I'm alone now.
It's over 40 years since we separated. You've made choices on your own. Accept responsibility.
That doesn't make living with my decisions any easier. The fact that I had to place my only child up for adoption.
You gave away my son.
I couldn't raise him by myself. I didn't have the means, and I didn't have the strength. Go on home. Go home to Catherine, your children, your grandchildren. I don't want you here. You're the reason that My life's a mess.
No, 4:30 is no good for the mayor. No. 2:30 is the dentist. Alan, look, I'm gonna run.
Ned?
Donald, how's tricks? Hope you don't mind me using the phone.
No, not at all. Sorry I'm late. Have a seat.
Look, I'm running behind schedule, so I have to cut our meeting short. Here's the deal. The city's decided to sell St. Eligius.
No discussion? They do a feasibility study, and then all of a sudden, just like that, we're on the auction block.
Look, the mayor's office might turn this place into housing for the elderly.
Yeah, well, I'm all for low-rent housing.
Didn't say anything about low rent.
Well, what influenced their decision?
Everything, especially your emergency room. A black hole sucking money out fast and we can pour it in. I mean, keeping this hospital open, it's just bad business.
A hospital isn't a business, Ned. We're a vital part of this community.
Donald, I can appreciate the function served by St. Eligius, but the wells run dry.
Ned, do me a favor. Stall this thing. Give me a chance to talk to Daniel and the board.
There's no point.
Well, there's a proposal I want to offer the mayor, and it'll show that we can cut this deficit, especially in the ER.
You have numbers?
Yeah, it's a study we're doing on our own. We just need a few days to finish it. That's all, a week tops.
1 week.
You got it. How the hell am I going to pull this off?
Going down to the low 30s.
Yeah, it's been a beautiful Indian summer, but the fall's come on strong.
It's not right you having to live on the streets.
Oh, I'll be okay. The past couple of days, I've been resting, and I know what my body can take. I feel strong, and, you know, my life is like playing chess. You use some strategy and anticipate the moves, and I always try to be sure I'm one jump ahead.
Sheer will and determination. I want to give you this money. It's only $100, but...
Well, it feels like 2 tens. But you know, sweetheart, you really don't have to do this.
Well,
I mean,
no, it makes me feel better.
Well, okay, thank you so much.
Now, you be careful.
Mm-hmm.
And if you ever need anyone to whip your chest again...
Right.
Kitty. Hey, what have you been doing? Come on.
I only caught the little bum, huh?
Yep. Some days you get the cat, some days the cat gets you.
Yeah.
You better stay away from Mike and Teddy. Jeffrey's hamsters.
Hello, dear. Would you prefer to drive?
We've been married 40 years. So it's crazy that Margaret Ryan should cause me to question your contentment.
I would never leave you.
Well, of course not. Not in the sense that you leave me for someone else anyway. But one day I will lose you. And my biggest fear is that your years with me will have been a compromise.
Oh, no.
Well, Margaret's an intelligent, vital woman. She broadened your horizons, challenged your intellect. My worry is that I haven't been able to do that.
You've enriched my life far beyond anything I deserve. There's no one I admire more or try to measure myself against. When I'm with you, I know I'm still very much alive.
Daniel, there is something that I need to know. Have you ever been unfaithful to me?
Never. I love you, Catherine.
You drive. That way we'll get home faster.
Shall I put this one on first? With this one? Hi. Come on in here with us. And here's the green one.
How did Moser do redecorating?
We haven't looked at the room yet. We've been waiting for you.
Where'd that come from?
I found that in one of Stephen's boxes. You know, Mark, when I saw that sweatshirt, it was as though Stephen left it behind just for me to find to give to Barbara. We can't replace our son, ever. We shouldn't even try. Come on, Barbara. Let's go look at the new room. Okay? Oh, Mark. Barbara's room is beautiful, Mark.
That was beautiful. I used to go to this club, 125th Street in Harlem, and listen to Eight Fingers Brown.
Oh, yeah, I've heard of him. Missing a thumb and pinky, huh?
What he could do with those 8 on the 88th. Oh. Back in those days, everything was new. You'd have thought that the world never existed until we got our hands on it. And back then, I made a decision that seemed so clear, so... if only I could turn back the clock, I'd do things very differently.
Yeah, but you know hindsight's 20/20.
And once you've made a mistake, it can't be undone.
Well, it don't have to be that way. If you realize you made a mistake, it gives you the freedom to make amends.
But what I did was unforgivable.
Well, the piano turns sour and get out of tune and don't sound right till somebody tightens the strings. And nothing you've done can ever be fixed unless you try.
All I want is to see him again. But Arthur, I abandoned him. So, even if I knew where to search, he might not speak to me.
Maybe. I got a buddy, the Klook. Keep waiting for him to come back one day, and maybe he never will. But in my heart, I know he's trying, and that's what keeps me going. Sure feels like a full moon.
My baby had his father's eyes. As soon as I feel better, I'm going to start looking.
If the sky above you grows dark and full of clouds, and that old north wind begins to blow, just keep your head together and call my name out loud, and soon I'll be knocking at your door, your door. You just call out my name, and you know wherever I am, I'll come running to see you again. With the summer fall, all you must do is call. I'll come running.